Are you a real estate investor looking to sharpen your skills or a newbie looking to become one? You're in the right place. Welcome to Where Should I Invest? Real Estate Investing in Canada with your host, Sarah Larbi.
So you're in a small town, your investors in a small town. Like, are there other investors that are up there as well that you can share ideas and network with, or are you networking with people from, further away virtually to get your inspiration and your education from?
Good question. So my mentor itself, he's from Kingston, Ontario, and him and I, we haven't spoken in a while. We're going to be speaking this Friday coming up, but our core investors are here in Sioux Lookout. They actually just moved to, was it Vernon? Vernon, BC, and they're enjoying their life right now out in Mexico. They're on vacation. They do winters out in Mexico. One of my other investors is down Southern Ontario. They're in Toronto. Yeah, they're in Toronto, and we connect via, how do we connect? We used to have, I guess, Zoom meetings every 2 weeks on a Tuesday, where myself, one of my colleagues from school, and then her and a few other friends who've since joined the group have connected, and we've had that group grow to what it was. There's about 5-6 of us. And one time we had my mentor come in and speak to the group. I would speak to the group about strategies, how I'm doing it, where I'm looking to grow, what my plan is for growth.
And you connected with someone in Dryden too, who's investing in houses.
Yes, that's correct. I also have a connection out in Dryden as well.
Okay.
And I've been chatting back and forth. We actually have this fantastic friendship now. I guess the way it started, he ended up, I had my my advertisement on Facebook there. I'm looking for a fourplex or bigger. And 5 months later, he ended up just texting me out of the blue. Hey, I got this fourplex looking to sell. It's this price. No, not even. I got a fourplex looking to sell. Make me an offer. I'm like, well, I don't just want to make a random offer because you're not going to like it first off. So him and I have since connected. I didn't make him an offer, but we've since connected and we've remained friends.
Very cool. Are you financing these properties yourselves with your T4 income with a regular bank, or are you doing any type of like creative financing?
These houses are T4. Yeah, we've started, I guess with one of them, we were looking at creative financing, but that didn't pull through. So to keep this deal alive, we jumped back to where we knew we could still get it because the creative financing was taking too long.
What we did is actually, my line of credit, right?
Yeah.
So because I have this house here, and it's kind of a revolving mortgage, so it's a line of credit. And I had quite a bit of room, so we managed actually for the first 3 houses to borrow the down payment from my line of credit, which now it's maxed.
Yeah, and now that you say that, it is kind of creative. But now that we don't have the room on this house here, what we had done was the two first houses that we purchased, the mortgages that we had, it wasn't expensive to break those, so we had broken those mortgages, rolled them into a new one, as well as attached revolving line of credits immediately on them, so we had room to borrow, and we used those two to finance this new purchase that we have, the fourplex, and now we're using that as well, and in the process of getting finance from our one of our lenders, and helping out with the renovations for the fourplex. So I guess you could say creative and T4.
Yeah. We actually, the housing prices really shot up this last year. So that was in our favor now to refinance those houses within a year. We just bought them.
Yeah.
And we got some good money back.
That was actually going to be one of my questions, just because obviously it's gone up like 30 to 40% in, I think most of Ontario, and I wasn't too sure what happened there. But so you guys saw the same type of lift. And what about in terms of vacancy? Like, is there 0 vacancy in your town? And it's like literally like you have your pick of all the possible tenants that you could want?
Legitimately, Sioux Lookout is one of those gems that just, that's rare. You go digging for it and all of a sudden you hit it and you're like, oh my God, this is the spot for that. There's always, it's a transient town, so there's always people coming up here. If you're a police officer, they send you up to northern communities, this being one of them, to start your career off. Same with firefighters, same with government individuals. There's the M&R here, there's the OPP here, there's doctors, dentists here, and people come here to start their career. And there's few like myself who do stay, which is why the town population is still so small. So there's always going to be that transient population looking for rent. And there's not enough places to rent to supply for individuals. So the next thing possibly in the future to look into would be from new builds, but I haven't learned about that yet. So it's still just a distant idea.
I mean, I'm even thinking like midterm rentals furnished like 1 to 6 months where, you don't have to deal with the long-term tenants, especially if your rent is going to increase, drastically year over year, just to have, a few midterms. Like that's, as you're talking, I'm like, this is pretty cool. Do you consider, like, I'm sure somebody's going to listen to this and say, like, I want to figure out how I can get up there. Like, it looks like there's some good opportunity. There's no, like, maybe they might not have a team, but sounds like you do. Are you open to joint ventures if somebody does reach out?
Absolutely. I actually had one of my buddies with a drone, and him and I had gone around the town of Sioux Lookout itself and made taken a couple of shots to show the new builds in the area, the growth that Sioux Lookout has had. And I want to put on that advertisement, put the prices of things itself and what the cash flow on these things could look like. So I'm definitely open for joint venture partners.
There are a few other investors here. Actually, people are building houses and rentals, but we still don't have enough. I heard too that there was a big company coming in. They purchased by the airport. They purchased a big lot and are planning on putting in more rentals, but they're supposed to be quite expensive too. So.
And M&R had this open lot for the longest time, like long before I moved up. I moved up here 3.5 years ago now, and they've had this open lot. And there's been talk about someone who had purchased this lot from the M&R, and now they're going to put a multi-unit complex up there as well. But that still won't house the individuals who are going to be coming up here because it's just ridiculous the amount of people that are transient in this town.
There are people that can't come up to work their job because there's not enough housing.
Yeah. So then they have to stay in Dryden and do that commute because there's not enough. Yeah.
I mean, it is interesting because I think it's still, when we look at like what happened in the last 2 years, like North Bay and Sudbury, like everyone's looking at North Bay and Sudbury where 2 years ago it was just starting, right? And so like it's always about where else is that next opportunity that might not have been announced yet, right? And and from a cash flow perspective, because we don't know, none of us know, even potentially the the people that study economics for a living, where the market's going to go. But if you've got even a $400,000 piece of property and it's cash flowing, and even if the market goes up and down, your cash flow is going to be there. So, I think there's some good things for sure. There's other fundamentals as well, right? So like we want to see what the job offering is. You don't want to be in one, area where there's one employer and that employer goes away. And then, so maybe if you wouldn't mind sharing like a little bit of the fundamentals, like what is up there? Is there hospitals? Is there schools, colleges? Has the population grown in the last 5 years in terms of people moving in, or is it the other way around? Like if you can share with us, I'm sure everyone's super interested, because it's not a place that many of us know about.
Good question. So the population since I've been here, and Andrea might have a different number, has been 5,500 for the past 3.5 years. There is the Catholic School Board. There is the public school board here. There is Thunder Bay is 4 hours. So when people are ready to go graduate from high school, they go to Thunder Bay, which is 4 hours. There's Confederation College. There's Lakehead University. There's Winnipeg, which is 5.5, 6 hours away. There's the OPP police station. There's dental. There is government positions. There's gold mines. There's amethyst mines. There's not copper. Is it copper?
No. The hospital also
has
a really brand new big hospital. Actually, and we're servicing a lot of the northern communities. So a lot of people come up here to nurses like.
Sioux Lookout is known as the hub of the North. So picture Toronto on a miniature scale. So the northern communities fly into Sioux Lookout themselves for the various reasons that they need to be here, whether for schooling, whether for the hospital, whether for transition to go somewhere else. They come into this airport here, YXL in Sioux Lookout.
MNR.
The MNR, yeah, there's a lot here, and you wouldn't think there's a lot here because it's a small town that doesn't exist unless you know about it, really.
And then, well, the summer camps. But if anyone needs a job, Lookout is at, like, you'll always find it popular.
And there's also like fly in, fly out camps for like hunting. People from the States come here specifically to go to those fly-in lodges, to go hunting, to go fishing, snowmobiling, anything you can think of, you can legitimately do it up here in this tiny gem of a town.
Thanks so much for listening to Where Should I Invest with your host, Sarah Larbi. Make sure to listen in next time. We'll catch you on the next episode of Where Should I Invest?